Okay, for this video, what we want to discuss is something that I heard a person say who gets to train at multiple gyms, and they might be a little misguided in their assumptions here. So they said that Gym A trains better than Gym B, but he likes, both gyms. And he's saying it's not that you don't get a great workout, it's just that they're better. I proposed the question to him, like, hey, how do you measure that? How do you know that one is better than the other? Now, just based on your own likes and dislikes, you can say which one you feel better about. You can talk about which one you lean toward, but you can't really define which one is better. So one of the things that you could probably take into account is, what are the phases of the workout? Do you do a proper warm-up? Is the drilling and instruction setup separate from the live drill or the functional drills? And is that set up separately from any sparring or conditioning? And do you have any cool down methods at the end? Keep in mind, we've talked about this in the past. You can break down a training phase from about a basic 5 all the way up to 25. Maybe if you're running an instructor's course, you're going to have more phases because you're trying to get more information out because, you're not going to see those same instructors for, 6 months to a year. Another thing that you take into account is the total time. So there are some gyms that are able to put in 2 hours of work, an hour and a half of work, and some just an hour. So these things would dictate, a difference because you may show up on a day when they're doing a heavier workload, but it's only for an hour, or a lighter workload dispersed over 2 hours. So you have to know when you show up, you have to know how Gym A and Gym B differ in terms of their scheduling and operation. Another thing you have to take into account, the 3 forms of time that are always in front of you. And that is chronological time, the duration, and frequency. So frequency will come in the form of any particular drill. How many rounds of sparring? It is a set number and it repeats itself. Duration has a lot to do what actually happens inside of those rounds. Is the coach enforcing a certain amount of activity per round? Or is he just kind of letting it go? Again, that all depends on what day you show up, and maybe they're just going through a walkthrough phase, letting their bodies recover because they're tired. You weren't there on the hard work days. So you can't judge Gym A and Gym B by, an infrequent visit from time to time. And the other form of time, of course, is the overall chronological time. Are we talking about some gyms actually have scheduling according to a curriculum? So this week we're working on this, next week we're working on that. So where are you in that timeline? You don't know, again, if you're not constantly there. So it's hard to say that one gym is better than another or one workout is better than another if you don't actually have those numbers. Another thing you take into account is, when you walked in, what round were they on? Were you there from the beginning? And did you take note that round number 1 in the warm-up counts, just like round 20 in the cool down counts? So you have to take into account all of the rounds, regardless of the activity, regardless of whether you're hitting a pad, a mitt, or opponent, whether you're drilling, whether you're sparring. You have to take it all into account. So we can talk about that in the future, but I also want to get it out of your head now that saying one gym is better than another can't be based on your personal bias. I want to get that out of your head quickly. I am Coach Sess, and you have had words with the Mad Coach.